Building to Bless is really a capital campaign to help our ministries grow here at St. Peter's. We know that we have a kitchen from the 1960s. We have a fellowship hall that is too small and is not always functional. We need to have our fellowship hall being functional and flexible so that we can help our ministries grow and develop new ministries. This is important for the growth of our congregation. This really is an opportunity for our congregation.
Building to Bless is our St. Peter's Lutheran Church capital campaign. It's capital because we're looking for money for a large project. It's a stewardship campaign because we are all stewards of God, and we know that we have been entrusted with the gifts, the blessings that He's given to us to share with others. And it's a campaign because it's only going to last for a certain amount of time, and in this case, from 2018 till 2021.
I have been involved in 2 campaigns prior to this one, and I'm so excited, enthusiastic about what we're going to do. I feel like we are going to renew and revitalize our ministry that we have here right now, and transfigure our facility in order that we can move forward. I think this is very important because we've done this in the past. I've heard people say the time is right, and I thoroughly agree with them. Our area is growing so much, and we're compelled to share what we have here at St. Peter's, and we have a lot to share.
It was an exciting experience, but it was always seemed like money problems, but just so happened every time something would come by, well, we was fortunate enough to find our way out of it, get out of it, and what have you. A lot of people helped us because we couldn't have done it by ourselves.
I would tell you that how we got here started many years ago, and I don't mean 2 or 3, I mean more like 18 or 20, and it really started with the addition of the school and the administration wing.
We got to the Building to Bless campaign through multiple years of discernment and prayer, discussion. It actually began with our listening team about 4 years ago as we listened up to God, listened out to our community, and then listened into our congregation. And we certainly heard things that God was telling us and the community was telling us in terms of how we could connect more with our neighbors and our neighborhoods, as well as with the ministries of our congregation and things that we had known for some time probably needed to be addressed. So out of that, a facilities planning committee was formed and worked for about a year, taking those things that we had heard and addressing them in our plan for this new building.
We need to challenge ourselves to make us grow and to see what needs are needed among our members, out in our community, and also the world.
So we've been building this church for over 60 years, and we've been introducing small changes, and this is one big change where we kind of revolutionize the function and use of the church.
For me, Building to Bless isn't just for us, for the existing generation of St. Peter's, but for those who will come after us. Certainly all of us are enjoying the spaces that started in the 1960s and through the 80s and then the early 2000s. When I came to St. Peter's, we had just completed the education and administrative wing, and I saw how that opened new doors for this congregation in terms of their ministry to the members as well as the community. And so it's exciting for me to see how we can continue that today, and how our children and our grandchildren even will get to see what we have built, how we have built upon the past, and how we are building for them in the future as well.
So for right now, we're at capacity in our fellowship hall. While it served us really well over the last however many years, it's time to expand and time to bring us into the now with a new kitchen and new facilities and more space so we can house everyone in our Ash Wednesday dinner and not be bumping into people and or spilling drinks and having to clean them up really fast.
The entry on the west side of our campus is the key entry point for a lot of people that come to St. Peter's, whether that's for a meeting or worship or coming down for St. Peter's Lutheran School. The remodeling of that area is going to make a significant impact on the feel that we give as a congregation. Most especially the ramp being incorporated inside the building will present a lot more hospitality to folks with limited mobility, and that is an added benefit. That tells people something about who we are as St. Peter's, that all people are welcome.
I think why we're doing this is again that need. The time is now. I look at change. There's an old saying, and I don't know if I'll get it right, that one thing's for sure, and that is change will occur. And we see that. We see change in our community. We see obviously change in our world. And we see change here at St. Peter's. I feel like now's the time. And I'm real thankful and hopeful that we'll be successful.
So if we have the facilities to do it and the space to do it, I feel like that will, lend itself to having more people involved and being able to offer services or areas for those organizations to meet. And that gives us, face to the community.
First of all, I've been involved with the Lenten services in two aspects, putting on meals. And when you don't have the proper equipment in the kitchen, how do you get the meals here and it's warm and things like that? It'll be a lot better. Also for a congregation, mealtime is fellowship. And if you've got a better fellowship hall and a up-to-date kitchen, guess what? You're going to have better fellowship.
I know one area that will bless our ministry that doesn't have a lot of pizzazz is our parking. I think the added parking will really benefit us in terms of the feel people will get as soon as they arrive, that there is a place for them here.
So I think teenagers could use the space more, and we use the Splat House a lot for our activities, and that's mainly where the older youth do their things. And now that we will have this bigger space down in the fellowship hall, there's just more things we can do.
I also feel like some of the behind the scenes things that are going to be really positive for us as well. I will take the audio video and those type of things that we're exploring for the sanctuary and on through the church and on through our fellowship hall area. I think that we'll see tremendous benefits.
The other thing that excites me a lot is the fact that we're going to continue to grow. We're not just stopping where we are. And we have so much to give this community. It just amazes me all, particularly the outreach that we do. And I think we can do a lot more if we do this expansion.
I think myself, the most exciting thing for me is to be quite frank with you, is the kitchen. I think that's going to show how St. Peter's really is going to be a family.
The other piece that I am excited about with the entry is the steeple, moving that from off the old sanctuary down to where people can really see it and interact with it as they're coming into our campus.
The project is just the opportunity to grow. And who knows what's going to happen when you can dream, you can grow. And who knows what kind of programs we're going to be having 5 years from now. Probably programs we're not even thinking about right now, which is really exciting. And this is all about gratitude to God, because God has blessed St. Peter's. And this is our way of saying thank you to God.
A few weeks ago, this Building to Bless brochure was sent out to all of our church members. And when you carefully read this, and I've highlighted it, you can see all the ways that we are boldly going out and fulfilling this mission.
With our new signage on the 1431 side, it will help the outside of our congregation match more to the inside of our congregation. And I hope in terms of our purpose statement that it will make us be more bold in reaching out to the community.
I think our purpose statement is an apt statement for our project. It is a bold move for us. We're not a massive congregation. We don't have millions and millions of dollars. Are we going on faith? Yes. We're going to have grace of God with us? Yes. Is it a bold thing for us to do? Heck yeah. Is there fear involved? Yes. But I think we kind of suppress that a little bit and say, this is what we're being charged to do.
I see the Building to Bless campaign helping us live out our purpose statement more fully, because we will be able to be together in existing ways as well as new ways. We'll be able to be together in small groups and large groups. It's also going to push us to be more bold in the things we're doing in worship, as well as our presence in the community. Once we have the project completed, I think we will feel the push of the Spirit to be more bold in how we use the space and how we invite others to use it with us and alongside us. I think living and sharing God's grace with all is something that's always needed. Each of us have had that experience of God's grace coming to us in times where we needed mercy or forgiveness, where we were granted new life and new experiences. And I think it's part of our call, it's part of our mandate as Christians to share that with others. And through the project, we'll be able to find new ways through the Spirit to do just that with our community as well as with one another.
I find great joy in partnering up with God and what He is doing in our church. And I hope you will too.
St. Peter's here, I think God is present in everything we do. He will steer us through this. I think He feels like it's time we get going. And he has worked that way in many different avenues.
I can see God working through this building project in a lot of ways. First and foremost, I think because it will make things a little messy around here, and that usually will probably push us to be a little more creative. The other piece of a capital campaign and a building project brings to us the idea of being grateful, to really take a step back and think about the blessings we've been given and the blessings that we can share. Be grateful for those and share them with gratitude, and also to be mindful of, especially during this season of Lent and moving into Easter, that we remember Christ's sacrifice for us and how we can make a sacrifice in like manner as He has called us to do, to follow Him in that way. When we sacrifice something for someone else, it is a blessing to them, certainly, but in my own experience, I find that it fills me up with my own blessings.